Welcome to part 3 of That Reminds Me of an Interesting Story. If you haven't watched episode 1 or 2, there'll be a link at the end of this video, but you don't need to watch them in order. Alright, let's get stuck into it. Yeah, these photos just sort of make me smile a bit. They're a bit cheesy. This is walking from short to mummy. So people are like, oh, we should go back to wearing the overalls. We didn't really wear them. We wore them when we went in mines, and we wore them for photo shoots because this is when we were starting to do media stuff and we wanted to do our own photos. You can see we've got our names on our tops, on our overalls. And what we did was when we got here, although it's not done yet in the photo, someone spray painted all our names on the footpath, on the bike track. And this posh, eastern suburbs Q gentleman came along and he started questioning us about the graffiti. It was pretty damn obvious. It was even the same colour as the Cave Clan written on our overalls, and it had all our names, and he spoke like this: who did the graffiti? What about you, Sloth? Your name's there. And I think I said, and Gilligan will remember this, I think I just said to the guy, okay, you can F off now. And he's like, I'm going to call the police. And we just went into the drain, and you can tell by the river there, even in that photo, you can tell the river's up really high. We had to sort of wade in. I think smaller people were swimming in. So we all jumped in and, took off up the drain. This photo, once again, blurry, out of focus. I just remember meeting at the pub that used to be on top of Spencer Street Station, whatever it's called now, and going up to someone and saying, who's here for the expo? And they just looked around and said, everyone. The whole pub was just full of people. We got a really good turnout. And I don't know, it was kind of not a turning point, but it was like, oh wow, we're getting really big expos. It was a good expo, but also, I think it's Id and Prowler that I'm taking a specky over. I look like I'm 10 foot tall there because, just as I took the photo, and you see Big Ears is playing along with the specky. These photos of the stickers just remind me of a fun time. Cave Clan just went mental with stickers when we were trying to, spread the word and get new members, and then everyone just got into it. Yeah, and it was just like a thing. He'd go to a pub. You can see that's Crow, and you can see his back's dirty because he's been in drains. And we just go out to a pub, and it was just a thing. You just spent the whole night feeling your back to see if there's a sticker on it. Like this guy, I don't think this person was even in Cave Clan. But some nights, I remember being at pubs, and there would be people taking the stickers off their back, and they'd do things like I just remember this one night where this group of people that were getting a lot of stickers on their back. You think they could get shitty? No, they just ripped the stickers up and made words out of them and stuck them back on their shirts. But so it said other things. One guy got shitty once because someone put it on a leather jacket, which is stupid. These stickers, these green and blue ones, they were so cheap. They were like $7 for a box of 200 sheets. I think it was like 5 cents a page to photocopy them. But a lot of people remember Cave Clan because of the stickers, not because of them exploring and all that sort of stuff. This is from the first Clannies. You notice the one N, it was there too. I made the mistake. I did the original Clannies backdrop. The whole Clannies went from an idea to voting to holding the awards in like less than 2 weeks, I think it was. And I was drinking. It's always about alcohol, isn't it? I just spelt one N. I don't know why. I think that I was meant to be the start of the second N, and I just didn't do it. And when Dunnett repainted it, he just did it the same. Clan Eyes. This photo is a good example of what I was talking about. It was at the previous video about people taking the Clannies too serious. I'm about to win an award for the shortest clan person, and Rusco won tallest clan person. That's how stupid the Clannies were, and people actually voted for it, and I won shortest clan person. Don't take the Clannies too serious. That's where they come from. Shortest clan person, tallest clan person. See, this reminds me of a fun night where Big Ears and I went to check out TWL, the Balti Bridge, while they were working on it, while it was still being built. And there was a big strike. So we thought, let's go have a look. But so did this guy here, who was called Catweasel. And he was this guy, he never had anything to do with the Cave Clan. But he was telling us about how he just goes around exploring all these freeways and roads that are being built He knew he'd done the Western Ring Road, Hume Freeway, but everything right back until he was getting on a bit. He'd been doing them for like 30 or so years, and he knew of Cave Clan. He knew heaps about Cave Clan, but he just wasn't interested. He just liked doing his own thing. Big Ears and I were like on the road, on the bridge, and suddenly this dude just walked up and was just gone. I can't remember either I said it to him or he said it to me. We were like, shit, there's a dude there. And he sort of looked at us and we thought, oh, it's going to be security or something. And then as he walked out, we thought, hang on, he's just a dude. And we just started talking. We sort of explored with him for a while. You can see a couple of shots. I don't know. I've never noticed this photo until I zoomed into it. I've seen this photo 50 times probably when I'm searching through my photos. But Big Ears' legs go through the Rio. I've never noticed that before. I just get this feeling sometimes. I don't know if other people experience it. Some could say it's cowardice, but it's like, you're having a good time, everything's good, and then something just goes, you should leave. And I just got that feeling, and I was just like, the Big Ears, I think we need to go. And that photo, the first photo of Cat Weasel climbing the green crane tower thing, that's us actually on the way. We're actually miles away from him there. Because you got to go all the way down to ground level and then back up, and we're up the top. We walked out, and you just walked up. There was one of those docks on the Yarra, and they had a wire fence that goes to the edge, and you just basically stepped around it. I had a camera around my neck. We climbed around the gate, and we were walking along this jetty. One side was water, the other side was a fence and all work cubicles. So it was the big work site for the Balti Bridge being built. So there was nowhere, and there was a gate behind us that we walked around. Just as we took 5 steps from the gate, these 2 security guards came around the corner and were walking on the jetty right towards us, like we had nowhere to go. I'll impersonate them. Some people might say it's racist. I'm just impersonating them. They came up to us and go, hey guys, what are you doing? And Big Ears just said something like, oh, we're just walking along looking at the river, beautiful river and all that. Well, someone's reported that someone's taken photos up on the bridge. I've got a camera around my neck. And we were like, oh, isn't it? There'll be people working on it, isn't there? No, there's a strike. And we said something like, oh, how long's the strike? But they sort of cut us off mid-sentence and were like, I'm just thinking, oh, we're busted. They'll keep us talking until the cops get here. I was so like, oh, yeah, we're busted. Yeah, so we sort of did the chat and like, oh, yeah, well, when's the strike going to end? And then they've just gone, sorry, guys, we've got to go. And they ran past us and ran up to the gate, and we just walked off, and we looked at each other and sort of giggled like children, and I was like, what the fuck just happened? And we looked back, and they were running up to the bridge to get these people that were taking photos up there, and so we just went. So I don't know what happened to Cat Weasel. If you somehow see this Cat Weasel, it'd be nice to know. Hopefully he didn't get hassled that night. You probably would have been up in the crane by the time they got up on the bridge, so hopefully they didn't see you. This is the only media thing that I never got a hold of. Cave Clan did an interview with Veronica down under. They were Dutch. So I just chucked this on here. If anyone knows anyone that's Dutch and might be able to find a copy of it, it was, I should give you more information, but yeah, it was Veronica Goes Down Under, so the actual show had a different name. So if you look at the Veronica Goes Down Under, one episode was about the Cave Clan. So I'd be very grateful if I ever got to see it. But I do have a friend online who lives over there, and he didn't have any luck. I shouldn't bring this up again, but Woody screws poor cats. This is another part of Cave Clan folklore, that there was this guy in the Cave Clan who rooted cats. Spoiler alert, he didn't. We're at Merch, the Cave Clan getaway, and we were recording audio giving Woody shit because he didn't come to Merch. He'd gone to a political meeting getaway thing. I think he only had to go for one day, so he didn't come to Merch at all. Yeah, we're like giving him shit, having a few drinks around the fire. We're like, yeah, Woody, you're sitting at home with your cat Max and we're all having a good time here. And then Sloth, his brother, just said in the background, you're probably rooting Max or something like that. And the audio goes on for another minute or two, and then I sort of go, what did you say before? It just led to this, like, I don't know, we just were drunk and making this tape about Woody, and we were singing like, Woody, you cat rooter, you root too many cats, fuck Max to the max, Woody, and then I'm just a poor cat talked by its owner. Da 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 da. And we just made songs up the whole night. Not the whole night, but for a large chunk, and it just became a thing. We just put stickers up everywhere, graffiti in the streets, as you can see there. It's just on the blackboard outside a pub. Woody Fox Cats. Like people, like we met this media crew once, and the guy that had come along to help, and I introduced Woody. I said, "Oh, this is Woody." He goes, "Oh, you Woody?" He goes, "Lucky I didn't bring my cat." And we'd be at parties, and people would be like, "Woody Fucks Cats." I've got a bit of footage of that, and we just kept the joke going. Even recently, I think it's like, that's Woody's long lost love child, and stuff like this. MC Woody. It was just a huge part of the Cave Clan for a while. It was like Cave Clan go in drains, put stickers everywhere, and one of them roots cats. This photo reminds you of Good Night. This is an expo at the Melbourne Power Station, probably that one with everyone on the roof. I felt a bit silly here because, people seem to think we were like experienced explorers, but we weren't. We were just dickheads going in abandoned buildings. And on that box, it says, Open Yan Yean Inlet. Yan Yean's an aqueduct to reservoirs and everything that used to supply Melbourne water. It still does, I think, but it was the main one. I think mainly now they use it on farms and stuff. Open Yan Yean Inlet and outlet valves before starting tunnel drainage pump. I just flicked the switch on thinking, we're in an abandoned power station, it wouldn't work. And this gigantic blue spark flew out of that whole box, went and that photo was taken just... You'd think there'd be like a puff of smoke or something. You can see my hands, like I've pulled my hand back. I was like, what the... And it did a bang too. So, that was a bit of an embarrassment. This photo was taken on a really awesome night. We were doing sort of TWL, as we call it, and security came, which we did it so many times and never got hassled. But anyway, we took off. The bridge hadn't been joined, so we had to climb down all these stairs. And the Drain 69er was on the site of the work site. And so we took off up the tunnel, and then other security guards came to the tunnel, and they were like calling out, "Come back, we just want to talk to ya." But anyway, we went up the drain, and Bob took us to this manhole that he knew, and he said, "It's safe, we'll be right. Just climb out." I pushed the manhole off. I had the manhole had just come off, and a car drove over it, and the manhole flipped. Luckily I heard the car, and I ducked down. I couldn't put the manhole back on properly, and the manhole actually spun around. Like if I hadn't have got down like 2 rungs, it would have smashed my head, and who knows what would have happened. But that's one of those, you'll be right, she's sweet, mate, just climb out here. Well, I think that's it. 3-parter. I didn't think it was... I know I talk a lot of shit. I get that these... Hugh Dunnett told me that some people he'd been speaking to said that these are really boring. But I've actually surprisingly, I've had really good feedback from people within the clan, and people outside of the clan have been sort of emailing. For the people that are bored, they've probably stopped watching and probably unsubscribe, sorry. But it's almost over. We'll get back to the live action video soon. I wanted to just get these photos out there anyway. It's more just putting them somewhere where they'll last, where people can see them if they want. A bit of history. That was totally my point, but I'm glad that a few came along for the ride. Alright, I've talked way too much shit. That's why it's a 3-parter. Alright, cheers. Bring on the drains.